Morning, everyone. Take a seat. Morning. Howdy ho. Nice to see you. It's Friday. Exciting. Next week, Tuesday, is the test. So we got a lecture today, and then we can do a lecture on Monday as well. So what I want to do, just start off like we would normally, take 2 minutes, just recap what it is that you remember from Monday, get your minds into gear. What were we talking about? So we were talking about the ISLM model. What is the ISLM model? The model is simply trying to understand what the relationship between interest rates and output is. We know that we have two different markets. We have a money market and we have a market for goods and services. We know that when we change the interest rate in the market for goods and services, it changes the equilibrium level of output. We know that in the money market, if we change the equilibrium level of output, or if we change output in general, it changes the interest rate. So you've got changes in interest rate affect output, changes in output affect interest rate. So what then is the effect if we change the interest rate or we change output? Where do we end up? Okay, you get two different effects. So that's what the ISLM model tries to understand. So it brings together all the points of equilibrium in the money market and in the goods market. Okay? What that means to you is it's essentially a summary of everything that we've done up to this point. So all the different concepts that we've discussed come together in this ISLM model at the moment. We still haven't discussed changes in price. When we do discuss changes in price, we can see what the effect would be in the ISLM model when we change prices. But for now, we're not dealing with changes in price. Okay? So in our mind map, we spoke about how we derive the IS curve by shifting the aggregate expenditure curve. We spoke about how we derive the LM curve by shifting the money demand curve, right? And then obviously we come to some point of equilibrium where we have the IS and the LM curves intersect. What the TUT then asked you to do was understand something about the effects of fiscal policy or monetary policy in an ISLM framework. We know that fiscal policy means a change in government spending or a change in taxes. We know that a change in government spending or a change in taxes is going to shift or change aggregate expenditure, in which case it's going to shift the IS curve, right? Monetary policy is a change in money supply. When you change money supply, what happens in the ISLM market, or model, sorry? The LM curve shifts. Okay? And that was essentially everything that there was to do with ISLM. We spoke in a lot of detail about how we derive these curves and how they move about. But getting it right really requires a lot of practice, because there's a lot of things going on. And I can stand up here talking about it forever and ever and ever, and it won't make a difference unless you actually get some good practice in doing it. So that's the most important thing. I feel like we are on schedule, we covered everything we need to, and what I want to know is where we are stuck, potentially, right? So I thought maybe if you want to, we can go through test 1 from last semester, start working through that, and use that as some sort of indication as to what it is that we still need some clarity on. You guys happy with that? Okay. Did we finish the test? Okay, finish the test then as well. Okay, we've also got a request. We haven't yet finished the tutorial. So we'll do that tutorial, then finish that off in the second half. Oh, except we have no internet, so we can't load that one. Okay. Doesn't matter. Continue. Hopefully the internet will come back. That mystical thing. Okay. This is what you will see when you go into your tests. Except it won't say macroeconomics. Obviously, it'll say macroeconomic theory. Right? So instead of having 20 MCQs, okay, so this test has 20 MCQs, you're going to have, we spoke about this, 15 MCQs plus then a written portion. So it's 75% MCQ, 25% written. And the written is, it's based on the same material. It's no different essentially to what the written portion of your tutorials might be, except obviously we're not asking open-ended opinion questions as such. Yeah.
Are there some past papers which were specifically written for marketing?
Well, there will be after Monday, after next Tuesday. So, this is the first time we're doing the theory course. So, after Tuesday, there will be. Okay. When you go in, please fill in your MCQ card correctly. If you do not fill in your MCQ card, then it's a mission for you to try and find out what your mark is supposed to be. Okay? You need to fill your student number in down here because that's what the MCQ card reader reads. It doesn't read the other side where you write your name. It only reads this side where you fill it in. Okay. So let's work through each one of these questions. If we give ourselves 2 minutes to look at it, then that'll be approximately how long you will have in a test. Okay, so 2 minutes to question 1 quickly. When you've got an answer, put your hand up so that I know sort of how many people have got an answer. Okay, can we get some answers? You want to use the test? Option A, why did you say option A? Okay, so they're investing more in capital goods, so that's going to lead to growth in the future. Happy with that idea? Okay, option E, where would that point be on that diagram? If you look at option E, on that diagram, where would it be represented by? Okay, point C, yeah, let's think outside the box. Not A, B, C, D, or E, where would it be represented in general? Yeah, it's something to do with the gradient, slope, whatever. So where would it be absolutely minimized? Yeah. Yeah, on the x-axis intercept, right? When you've got no capital goods, then the ratio of capital to consumer would be 0, right? So if let's say the ratio of capital goods to consumer goods is maximized, where would that be? On the y-axis. Would that trump point A? Potentially. Okay. Question 2. Let's do it. If you've got any questions about question 1, you are welcome to raise your hand. But now we're moving on. Question 2. Everyone got an answer? Yeah? Yeah? You say option C for Caterpillar. How many people say option C? Okay, how many people are not happy with option C? Okay, anyone got a problem? Oh yeah? Okay, what do you think about option C? If the nominal interest rate decreases by 5% and the inflation rate rises by 5%, what is happening to the real interest rate? Okay? What do we know about this relationship between the two? We know that the nominal rate is approximately equal to the real rate plus inflation, right? So you've been told that the nominal rate has, what did it say? Got down, yeah. If this goes down by 5 and inflation did what? Went up by 5, then what must this number do to make these two sides equal? Let's go down by 10, yeah? Can you just check that that's what it says there? Option C, nominal goes down by 5, inflation goes up by 5. What must have happened to the real rate? Gone down by 10. Yeah? Okay, any problems with that question? Yeah. Sorry? The Fisher effect. Yeah. It should not be influenced by the number. Yeah, that's true. Well, it's not saying that the nominal interest rate caused the real interest rate to change. If you have a real interest rate and your real interest rate goes down by 10%, at the same time inflation goes up by 5%, what is going to happen to your nominal interest rate? It's going to go down by 5%. There's nothing causal there. It's just talking about the relationship between them. Nothing there says that the nominal interest rate caused the other one to go down. Yeah? Option 1, how many people were happy with, question 1, anyone got problems with question 1? You don't raise your hands now, we just move on and then we don't discuss it. And if you see it on Tuesday, maybe you get it wrong, we can change things around. So you need to speak up now. Okay, I'm sure you've seen this question a couple of times. You got some numbers, what is the unemployment rate? Okay, question number 3, what's the answer? C, you happy with that? C, again, C for, I don't know, camel. Is that right? I haven't worked it out, so I'm just guessing that what you're saying is right. Okay? Yeah. Oh, if you were asked. Oh, yeah. Different numbers, yeah. It would be. Yeah, I think so. I think that would be right. Okay, number 4. Which of the following options is not a component of gross domestic product? Let's just talk through this one. Is inventory part of GDP? Yes. Are services? Yes. Net exports? Yes. Transfer payments made by government? Purchases of a new house? Yes. Where does purchases of a new house go? Investments. Okay, you got some information about calculating a growth rate. Can you do that? Do it in 2 minutes. Let's just work out how, if you've got a growth rate of something, right? So if you've got something today, and we're going to call it, let's say, present value, and it grows by some percentage, 1 plus R gives you some future value, whatever the case it is, right? How do you then work out the present value if you've been given the future value? I'm just going to blow your mind at the moment. I'm not sure if you've seen this before. Right? Yeah? Can we move on then? I don't have a calculator, so I don't know what the numbers are, but once you calculate the numbers, you'll know what the answer is, right? Okay, question number 6. Consider the macroeconomic identity savings equals investment and choose which of these are correct. Okay, have a discussion, 2 minutes, let's go through it. Can I get some feedback? What do you guys think? You're going to go C. Because it's the longest one, okay? It's an interesting strategy. Yeah? What else? Yeah? You think it's D. And what's your strategy for answering? Okay, so you're going for the strategy that one looks like it's right. give her the information that I know. Yeah. Probably a better strategy, but let's see how it's working out. Does I stand for investment in option D? Yes. Does it represent the amount of money spent on purchasing inventory and new capital such as equipment or buildings?
I don't think it's inventory.
No, it is inventory, it is new capital, such as equipment for buildings, is correct. Let's just look at option C, given the longest option. S stands for savings, yes, represents the amount of money individuals save, but do not deposit in a bank account or make available for lending. No, so that's, the whole point is savings equals investments means that it's people getting lending stuff. Maybe change that strategy. Okay, all the other options are you, yeah? What is an injection and what is a leakage is the other side of these things. So investment is an injection, savings is in fact a leakage. What does that mean? It means consumers get paid money, okay, they get paid income, then if they save it, they're not injecting it into the economy, they're putting it aside, right? And when they put it aside, it's a leakage. Then the fact that people borrow that money and invest it, it's then an injection. Yeah, terminology, good question. Okay? Yeah?
So why it is since people are like it's a leakage savings.
Okay, I stands for investment, yes, refers to the amount of money individuals choose to deposit in a bank after having spent. Well, I is not the amount that people deposit in the bank. Savings is the amount that people deposit. Yeah. Okay? You're the finance minister of this strange place, and you're told this is what's been happening in the economy. The question is asked of you, what is the value of net exports? I hate these questions. So you need net exports. What you need to do from here is you need to work out, first of all, what the value of GDP is. You work out what the value of GDP is by using the income approach. Then you subtract from the income approach consumption, government spending, and investments, and then that will give you net exports. Right? So in other words, if you dig through all of this stuff, where is, somewhere in here is consumption, basically. Well, here's government purchases, so there's government spending. Here's inventory investments. Here's purchases of capital goods, so that would be investment. Here's non-durable goods spending. Here's durable goods spending, so that would be consumption. And services spending, so that's part of consumption. So that gives you consumption, government spending, and investments. So now you need to work out what GDP is. How do you work out what GDP is? You've got national income. You need to adjust national income for certain components. So national income, we would adjust it for income earned from the rest of the world. We would adjust it for income earned by the rest of the world. This is statistical discrepancy. I think we adjusted for that. Oh, he has more investment. Sorry, purchase of new residential housing. That's part of investment. I think, and I think we also adjusted for, we definitely adjusted for depreciation. Do we adjust it for these taxes? I can't even remember. So, like I said, I hate these questions. Yeah, but straight from your reading.
About the net interest. Net interest is the interest you earn minus the interest that you pay, right?
Okay.
So if net interest is positive, would it be part of the income approach? Would you add it to income approach? And if it's negative,
Well, you don't need to worry too much about it because you've already been given this national income.
but say now we weren't given that and you had to work.
Yeah, then it would need to be part of, if it was positive, then that net, yeah, it would need to be clear. Is net interest, does that mean the net payments or does it mean net receipts? Right, I'm not really clear from that number
It's
there.
the
I think
difference between the two.
I hear you, but what I'm saying is if net interest is positive, like it is here, you just need to be clear that that means positive payments received, not positive payments made. Does that make sense? I'm pretty sure it's positive, but I'm just saying you would need to be 100% clear. So then it would be included. Net interest, if it was positive, and that means net interest received as income, it would be part of the income approach as a positive thing.
And if it was interest you're paying out, you included the expenditure.
No, then it would just be negative. It would still need to be part of it, but you would then need to subtract it from the income. Yeah. Sorry, we got a question? Yeah? Sorry, can we please? Yeah? Sorry? You got option D. Okay.
Got B.
You got option B. Anyone else? Option B, option D. You got D. Anyone else? D. So D, D. I put my money on D. So, okay. Just make sure that, look, it's really a case of going to the reading, looking at every single one of those components, committing it to memory, and looking at what's been put down here and making the appropriate adjustment. It's really tedious. That's why I don't like doing it. And easy to make a mistake. But nevertheless, it is part of what you are required to do. Okay, question 8. Yeah. You said E. Yeah, you said A. What do you say? You said A. What do you say? A. And at the back? Right at the back, you said? You said A, you said A. You said E. So, how do we work this out? How much would it cost? I mean, what would their return be on this project? Their return on this project would be 7%. Thereabouts. It's the rule of 70. Okay? So if their investment would give them a return of 7%, would they be happy to borrow money if the interest rate was below 5%? Yes. Would they be happy to borrow money if it was below 9%? Well, it would have to be below 9% and below 7%. In other words, if it was 8%, they wouldn't be happy. So it's not that they would be happy to borrow if it was below 9%, right? Same applies to 11%. Same applies to 12%. Obviously D then is not correct. What about E? Well, A is correct because they would be happy to borrow below 5%. Okay, anyway, we'll take a break and then we can continue.